Okay, I'm in Colorado at my in-laws' ranch. Got a family function. Want to try to keep on top of this. So I'm a little bit behind, but we've been really busy. Okay, so this is why we have the decor, the ranch decor around me. All right, so and I am, where am I? Right up here, this side of Colorado. Ranch land and farmland. All right. Uh, Love it. Love being here. It's cold. Okay, so let's answer this question. Trying very hard to understand early intervention process, but I am not having much luck finding information that comes from a federal level. Each state has their own laws within part of special education, but aren't there any federal guidelines that all states must follow? Yes, absolutely. I'm specifically looking for information regarding rights to evaluation and roles in an IFSP. Okay? Look, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is the IDEA, has four parts. All right, Part A, which covers the general laws, that govern the act. Okay. Part B, which deals with that's school aged. That would cover age 3 to 21. Is Part B of IDEA. Part C would be what they consider infant and toddler, and that's what you're talking about. That would be what's considered early intervention. All right, and early intervention is Part C of IDEA. So if you Google Part C of IDEA, and if it's the infants and toddlers, and it goes from birth to two through two. All right, so birth through 2 years old, because at age 3, if the child is identified and found eligible for an IEP, then they move over to Part B of IDEA. Now, Part D, okay, so there's Part A, Part B, Part C. Part D is the federally funded national programs, all right? So, that's why you don't hear a lot about Part D, but we hear a lot about Part B and Part C. And every state does apply, to my knowledge, every state. The states I work in, they do apply Part C, which is the infant to 2 years old or through 2 years old. And they have various agencies that will implement that. And, like, for example, the ARC, a different nonprofit or childhood development organizations will be partnered with that infant through age 2 early intervention. Okay? It does come with a little bit of funding, not a lot. And do you have a right to get an attorney involved? Yeah, but you can't get your attorney fees reimbursed or paid for like you can during the school age from 3 to 21. All right? Uh, do the parents have rights to be able to challenge the determinations under the IFSP? Yes, they do, but it's just a different mechanism. It's a different mechanism, but and does your child have a right to FAPE at that age? No, not really. Okay, and the rules of who can receive early interventions are far more broad than it is for those 3 to 21, because that's where we narrow it down, and now it becomes a legal right to a FAPE. So it's a far more serious deal. And the federal government recognizes 13 categories, whereas for early intervention, it's more of a broad brush, and we're really trying to attack these issues early on developmentally, so that we cut down on the number of kids that transition over that need IEPs. That's the entire purpose of early intervention, is to weed out how many children require IEPs once they turn 3. Now, I can tell you that there's a handoff with regards to early intervention, and it's stated in there, and it's actually included in Part B of IDEA. with regards to that transition program. So it's even in the age 3 to 21 regulations that the early intervention process starts when the child is 2.5. 6 months before your child turns 3, the early intervention agency that your child has been working with is supposed to coordinate with your zoned public school 6 months before your child turns 3. And it's called the transition meeting. So it's 6 months before your child turns 3. That's when you have your meeting with early intervention and your public school system so that you can get to know each other, sign consent to start the evaluation process for the 3-year-old IEP. And it gives the school system, they're still held under the same eligibility criteria, but the entire purpose that they do the 6 months in advance so that the school system has the ability to fully and thoroughly evaluate and know the child prior to the child's IEP activating on the first day of their 3rd birthday. Now, with regards to evaluations, with regards to the ifsp, I mean, yes, that's there, but it's just not held to the same rigors and the same mandates that exist under Part B, which covers school-age kids from 3 to 21. Okay? But like I said, if you Google Part C, IDEA, infants and toddlers, then the federal regulations on that are going to come up and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. There's still accountability, but it's just different.